All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome live tonight here. And that's right, we have waited a long time for tonight, a season finale here for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. And it is going to be an awesome race because 4 drivers tonight, they will duke it out and see who the best of the best is to try to vie for the championship. It has been a long, hard season. Well, right now, qualifying is winding down. We got one of the chase drivers here, Chad Cole. Chad, how you doing, man?
Could be doing a little bit better after qualifying. It's not looking too good right now. That's why we got 140 laps to get it done. So just gonna have to be patient, get some good pit stops. Track position is gonna be pretty tough, pretty important tonight. It's gonna be very difficult to pass on the track. So anything we can make up in the pit to be ideal.
Oh, absolutely. It has been a long season, though, man. And real quick, your thoughts on coming here and at least having a shot for the championship here tonight?
Yeah, that's all really anyone can ask for is have a chance for it, and I'm gonna give it all tonight. Gonna put on a good show for you guys.
All right, well, good luck out there, Chad.
Thank you.
All right, that's Chad Cole. Let's bring up, man, Mike Kelly here, another one. Mike Kelly, Joe White in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Man, I tell you what, it's been a long season, and real quick, I tell you right now, you're one of the top 4 to race for a championship here. You feel the goosebumps here tonight. What do you got to do to pull this thing off?
Oh, it's nerve-wracking, I'll tell you. Well, this whole race is like a Hail Mary for me, so it's, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to sound whiny. I mean, it's been a great season, and thrilled to be in this position, and anything can happen. That's why we race, but not my best track, and you know, you just got to go out, run hard, stick to a strategy, do the opposite of what those guys do. Maybe they'll wreck. You never know. I got a shot at it. That's the main thing.
There you go. That's all you can ask for. Well, good luck out there, Mike.
Yep, thanks. I'd like to thank Transervice and you guys and Sim500 for giving us the opportunity to do this. It's been a great season, and let's go racing.
All right, man. Heck yeah. All right, I tell you what, let's bring up Jose Gonzalez, the other one here. Jose Gonzalez, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Man, I tell you what, real quick, man, I tell you right now, with the final 4 here tonight, you got a chance for a championship. Let us know how you're feeling so far before this race gets started.
Yeah, everybody's got a chance. I'm definitely an underdog, but I sure feel like I have a chance here. Anything can happen. This is a tough track. It's very difficult to pass, so you know, you gotta go get it either with fresh tires, do a little slide jump there, or when the tire starts to fall away, and you know, we'll see what happens if there are too many cautions or not. I mean, hopefully we can go green along for long runs, so we can do a little passing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'll tell you, it's been a long season, and it's come down to this right here. 1 race to go to try to go for a championship. Good luck out there, Jose.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
All right, let's bring up the last contender here, and the man tonight who is looking good, Mitch Rollo. Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, it's your bud.
Mitch, I tell you what, well, I waited to last because I noticed you're sitting on pole right now in the catbird seat. 1 race to go. 4 drivers out there. You got 3 others you got to think about here tonight. Can you get it done here at Homestead to bring home a title?
Yeah, I think we definitely got a good shot at it. Busting my butt this week, trying to get some laps in, and lots of practice. So, you know, I've done all I could do on my end. Well, as far as practice goes, now we're gonna go see if I can do it in the race, and we'll see if we can come away with this thing.
Well, you're doing even more. You're putting it on pole and definitely winning the race. We'll definitely showcase it here tonight. Man, I tell you what, it's been a long one and a hard-fought one to get to this point. Good luck out there tonight, Mitch.
I appreciate it, Joe, and I just gotta thank Transervice for coming on this year. It's definitely a big deal, them coming on and supporting the series, and they're coming back next year as well, so big, huge thanks to them.
All right, I tell you what, there you go. You have that. That's the 4 drivers tonight that are going to race for a title. It has come down to this. 4 guys battling out here in the sunny state here of Florida, Homestead, Miami tonight. We're going to get it done as Mitch Rollo is putting it on pole. As always, I'm Joe White up here in the booth. And I'm accompanied by the boss man himself, Joey Katina. Joey, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm nervous, Joe. I don't know. I'm not in the race, but I'm nervous.
Man, it's going to be nervous. You know, we're nervous, but I'm going to tell you what, these drivers down there have got to be nerve-wracking. Just talk to the 4 drivers. They're set. They've done all they can do all season long to get them to this point, and they got one more race to get it done. Mitch Rollo definitely putting himself in the position he needs to put himself into. But let's grid these bad boys up here tonight, because what we see right there, one of the chase contenders, Mitch Rollo, he puts it on pole tonight. Anthony Navarro has been fast all season long. He's going to start in second. Third place, Chad Coleman. And Nick Timms coming out the gate here in the last race of the season, going to start fourth. Fifth place man, Nelson Rivera. And Jose Gonzalez, another number 4 championship driver there tonight, starting in sixth place. Chad Cole, the other one, also. He has been red hot during the whole chase series. Look for him to try to capitalize here. One more race to try to crown a champion. He starts 7th. Steve Goschalk up to 8th. Got Glenn Campbell there tonight. Nick Silver rounds the top 10. As we look through the rest of the field, there's one other driver we got to keep, and that's Mike Kelly sitting back in 16th. He said he was kind of the underdog. This is not his favorite track. He's struggling here, but I know by the time the end of this race, he'll find a way. It's going to be interesting. Like I always say, there's some bad, fast drivers and some bad, fast hot rods about to complete a bad, fast season here at Homestead, Miami.
It is going to be my pleasure to be next to you, Joe. It's been a great year. I can't thank you guys, just you, for what you've done at OSRN this year, bringing the story to the fans and the families out there supporting these guys. Back to Mike Kelly. I don't know if you ever consider him an underdog. They really haven't qualified that great this year, but as we saw last week, like you mentioned, give it a couple laps, and he's going to be right there in the top 10.
You know, he came up here. He was a little nervous at it. I mean, you know, Mitch Rollo has been red hot. Chad Cole's been there. You know, Jose's been where he needs to be. It's 4 drivers. It's anybody's ball game. We have seen the ups. We have seen the downs throughout the chase. Most notably, we have seen guys like Nick Cohan missed the chase by mere points, who dominated the regular season, got all the way down to the last race, couldn't get it done to get here to Homestead. We've seen guys sneak in like Mike Kelly. Well, like you said, he is a top-notch competitor, but like what he said, got in here, got a chance to win this thing. Man, it's going to be exciting. This is a tough track, like Jose said, to pass, and that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on if we get long green flag runs.
The track is in a late afternoon setting, so a little bit cooler, a little more grip. So we'll see if the bottom lane can work. Of course, the top is going to be the preferred line around the track. So I think if you're going to win the race, you got to go where they're not. So the bottom, look for the guy that can get down there and make up time to have the chance to win the race.
Absolutely, and I think later on in the run, too, if it's any indication of like what it was in the real Homestead race, a lot of those guys, yeah, they stayed down low, they stayed in the middle of the track, but the high lane was the fastest part. I think we might see some guys get up there and try that. As we're getting set here to go green flag racing for the final time here tonight, the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Pace cars off, green flag flies, and Mitch Rollo says, see you later. I got a championship to try to win here tonight. He runs out front, heading into turn 1.
A big jump by the 96 car. He's going to take about a 10-car length lead. Everybody else behind him is 2x2 trying to find their way around the track.
Yes, they are. Nick Timms battling with Chad Coleman and Jose Gonzalez right there in the mix. And it's going to be a long race. We got 140 laps here. You got to pace yourself. Yes, Mitch Rollo. The thing about tonight is the 4 drivers. There is no bonus points. There is no points involved. It's whoever finishes in front of whoever. I like that style. I like that how it comes down to it. Wish it was more drivers that it came down to it other than 4. But it still makes for the assignment. So they know what they have to do. Right now, it's run down Mitch Rollo.
Mitch Rollo definitely showing his hand early, setting on the pole, and is breaking away still at this point. You mentioned a guy earlier, and I want to go ahead and say his name now, the 51, the hitman machine of Nick Timms. We've got a bet right now that 51 car finishes the race in the top 10. They've had some bad luck. I've heard from their management that they're running out of money from all the race cars that drivers reckon. So we'll see what Nick does till later on tonight.
Man better win the lottery, and he probably would feel like he could win the lottery tonight if he finishes in that top 10. He has had a up and down rough season, calling Mr. 9 times. Nick Timms, and for one last time, folks, Nick Thamus out there. I gotta say it because, man, for the half of the season I said it that way. But he's got that Hitman Raceware machine humming right now in third place. Chad Coleman right behind him. Everybody's single file because, again, this is a very tough place to pass. Now, we're talking about Mike Kelly. Looking back at 12th place spot right now, he's battling along with Nick Silver. We're going to keep an eye on Mike Kelly here because Mike, throughout the race, he's one of those who might stick around in the middle part of the track, but he'll eventually make his way to the front.
Yeah, already picked up 4 spots right now, and it looks like he's just hanging out. Mike's one of those guys, he's a veteran, he understands there is a long way to go. There's no point in pushing your race car right now, but just staying out of trouble, keeping the fenders on it, be there at the end, and Mike Kelly is going to do that.
Absolutely. Right now trying to pick them up and knock them down one by one as we go through a huge field. 29 of some of the best here that iRacing has to offer. And it has been an awesome time, man, showcasing these drivers through the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. And we call it the Monday Night Money Series because there is money on the line for the champ tonight. Whoever was able to bring this thing. And we appreciate everybody out there. And, Joe, it has been good. We got a good race going on back here with Justin Fuller.
Fuller's back there battling, and Fuller's one of the, he's our I'm trying to remember, I think he's our truck champion. We've had so much going on this week.
He is.
But yeah, he is our truck champion, the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series champion. He is one of the faster guys, and also Justin has just made pro, so he's making his final premier start at Sim 500 tonight here at Miami. So look for Justin to be a contender as well. He's one of the fastest guys in the field.
Absolutely. Right now, trying to work over Mike Kelly on the high side. Again, you're going to see these guys try the low line, but I feel like as the race goes on, the more the tire wears come off of them, that middle to high lane is going to come into play. Right now, you see multiple grooves. You can do that with the tires a little bit, but Justin Fuller makes the pass. Mike Kelly back to 14th up front. You still got Nick Timms. He's trying to work over Anthony DeBarro, so, hey, he's taking your bet to heart.
He also switched to Toyota, so he's saying that's helping as well.
Oh, Lord. Went out Toyota. He got a hold of Anthony DeBarro last week. Had to, man, because Anthony, I knew it when I saw him in that Chevrolet. It's what I was used to seeing him in, but tonight he switched over. Last week switched over to Toyota, so Nick Timms out there in a Toyota, and right now they're doing an amazing job. But behind him, the guy who was, I don't know, kind of has just woke up. All season long, him and Nick Cohan back and forth, but he kind of held back throughout the regular season. And when the chase came, it was like a light bulb, man, just went off. This guy was very aggressive. He went from calm, cool, and collected to the Hawaii Coyote.
Just riding right now. You've got Chad Cole there second right now if you look at the championship standings, and Jose Gonzalez just 2 spots behind him. But yeah, Chad Cole is Mr. Iceman as well. This race has a really solid chance of going caution-free, and it did last night in the Xfinity Series race where he crowned Chad Coleman the champion of the Hitman Raceware Xfinity Championship. Say that 3 times fast, Joe. It's not easy.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one.
If this goes green, that's going to play right in the hands of Chad Cole because he's not a guy that makes many mistakes as you've seen this year, Joe.
Well, you know, when I'm just looking at the lap times, it's just like everybody else is. He is actually faster than the leader, Mitch Rollo, and he is gaining on them. Right now, he clocked a 31.791 that time, but the last time around, prior laps, he was way down in the 31.7 ranges, so a little bit quicker. Mitch Rollo picked it up that time, but yeah, I don't know. They evened out a little bit up front. But Chad Cole, like you said, the longer this goes, and look at that pass for second. Here comes Nick Timms. Boy, he says, look, I might not be in a title hunt, but I want to win a race.
Absolutely. In the crossover by DeBarro, he's going to have a chance to get that spot back going in turn 1. I was talking to Timms before the race. He said he out-qualified all these guys. I ought to be in the Final Four. So he's really putting a lot of pressure in the next year trying to be here in Homestead.
Absolutely, and right now he's showcasing what he could do in Homestead as he is battling it out and got the second place spot from Anthony DeBarro, and that right there is a power move because we know what Anthony can do in that silver bullet. He is bad fast out here. We go back here to Glenn Campbell. We got a lot of guys, man, still single file, some good racing going on throughout the field. Scott Stencil up to 13th, just most notably, Mike Kelly's dropping back to 14th. He'll get that thing, figured out for us in here. You got Scott's Assembly back in 15th. I mean, it's a who's who of names here we could go through for end on end.
Well, one guy you mentioned, Glenn Campbell, and that's one we have to thank here at Sim500 because without Glenn, Transervice Logistics would not be the title sponsor. We're very thankful for the guys at Transervice, and as Rollo mentioned earlier, we're going to bring them back again next year. So it's pretty cool to have a logistics company like Transervice. They got into sim racing simply because they wanted to let people know that they're out there and then show them the career opportunities that Transervice has available. So if you're out there, you're a truck driver or looking for a new career, check out Transervice Logistics. They are absolutely an amazing company, as you can see, supporting us here in sim racing.
Absolutely, and it's good. I've said it time and time again, and I'll keep saying it from the day here. The last 2 years I've done this up here for iRacing. It is awesome to see the sponsorships that come about through the leagues, through the broadcast, through the drivers out here. It's not just a guy throwing, Walmart or Coca-Cola on the side. You see a lot of real-time sponsors and businesses out here, and that's a perfect example of it. Transervice coming on board, many more out here, a lot of painters out here, a lot of racers out here, a lot of companies out here that support sim racing in general. It's a big thing, and it's growing as a sport.
Well, back to the action, the 51 and the 5, they are going tooth, and now it's like there's something at the end of the rainbow here in the next lap. These guys are racing for everything they have for that second spot. I know Rollo's loving it, but also who's concerned is Chad Cole, who's right behind him, hoping nothing goes south and takes him out of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to sit back there right now and just kind of be patient and ride. He really hates to see Mitch Rollo walk away into the sunset right now, but it's still early in the race. But he has still got to see what these guys in front of him are going to do and let them settle that thing out in front of him right now as Chad Cole still runs in the 4th place spot. Mitch not too far ahead. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of Anthony DeBarro right now. And like I said, Nick Timms has fallen back into the 3rd place spot. I'm looking at the lap times. They're kind of even. Seems like one lap one has it, the next lap the other one has it. They all kind of seem kind of even for the top 4 or 5.
Looking back and checking on Mike Kelly, he's dropped a couple of spots. He's back behind the 24 Scott Stenzel now. Looks like Kelly's just in cruise mode right now, as this race is definitely setting a tone for, at least let's say this, a long run. We could possibly be on the look for green flag pit stops.
And that's probably what these guys need to set up for. I'm with you. It's got that feel of a long run. The problem is we don't know how the tire wear will play. I can't get that out in a minute. Tire wear will play out as the run goes on. We're at lap 18 in here. It will all depend on how well these cars start. We saw it a couple weeks ago there, Joey, when these guys, they started fighting the rear ends of the cars really bad. Well, are we going to see that later on in the run? That's where the drivers that are actually easy on these things, you'll start seeing them come to the front.
I just checked in with some of the drivers here. It looks like the pit window's around lap 50 to 55, so still have a little ways to go to get there, but that gives us an idea when to start looking for green flag pit stops.
Absolutely, and right now we're at lap 19, so I got a feeling the way the tire wear and the way this race is, it'll probably be about 25 to 27 laps in. These guys will start really feeling it. That's usually kind of the senses of how you see these cars act. I've always said these cars on iRacing are more of a finesse style cars. You see Glenn Campbell mowing the grass.
Oh yeah, Glenn Campbell sideways. He's got some damage on the front of that Transervice car. Looks like he's out.
Hard hitting the wall. Let's watch the replay here. No caution because he got off onto the apron down there into the grass. Oh, just bumped the wall coming out of the turn there down the straight, and then boom, heavy contact into the wall. He was able to stay into the grass. That's why the caution didn't come out here on iRacing. If you stay off the racing surface, 9 times out of 10, it will not throw a caution here. So that's why, unfortunately, man, we were just talking about Glenn Campbell, and we were just talking about, can these guys handle it? Are we going to start seeing, to this point, these cars starting to get loose now? Are they going to have to try to chase them around the track?
Only time will tell on that, Joe. The late afternoon setting, like we mentioned, the track's a little cooler. We got a little bit more grip, where these guys are used to running the hotter racetracks, the afternoon settings. So right now they may feel like Superman, and that could be what sneaks out and gets the 44 car. If you remember last week, the same thing happened to Glenn. So definitely some issues on the handling of that 44 team.
Absolutely, and you talk about the handling of the machines out here. I've always said it, and for the viewers out there that might be new to racing and trying to figure out what we're talking about up here, yes, it's cool. These guys have got grip on the track. Sometimes, though, that tends to let you overdrive the car, and you will push it into the turns a little bit heavy, and what that'll actually do is actually might end up pushing going into the turn, and then you end up letting off the throttle to make that front end stick. Problem is you get right back on the throttle real heavy because you got all that grip, and then you snap that thing loose. So we call that a push loose. And you know, sometimes these cool weathers can play a factor.
And that's one thing about Homestead being the final race. I love this track. It presents such, it's more of a driver's track, Joe. You have to be patient about the center of the racetrack. You can go out there and drive this thing off into turn 1 and drive it as hard as you want off turn 2, but you've got to keep the tires underneath you. So to do that in the center of the corner, letting the car rotate, then rolling back into the gas on corner exit. If you push it too hard, you see what just happened in the 44. It's just that easy. You can find your night to be ever with.
Absolutely, and you know, it's about the opposite with a hot track out here. So right now, Mitch Rollo's still in control of this one. He's got a 1.2 second lead out front. He's one of the final 4 here, vying for a championship here tonight. And the season finale here, the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series, presented by Transervice. Mitch Rollo, Chad Coleman, Jose Gonzalez, and Mike Kelly, the 4 drivers that y'all need to watch for here tonight, as I'm watching this battle with Tommy Ryan and the number 59 of Sean Casto.
Side by side. Hey, Joe, I just looked at the front there, too. Chad Cole just made the move around Nick Timms. Nick actually pulled over and let the 82 machine go.
I don't want to see that now, Nick. Hey, don't be pulling up. See, now, look, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Joey. I want to see these guys race, and I know team orders will play a big factor, but I don't want these guys, I never want them to be scared to run around championship contenders. I have just always felt, if you've got a fast enough car, do it. Now, obviously, if your car's slow and you're holding them up, get out the way. You know, but you got a fast enough car racing. Yeah, it might be. You know, I just don't want to see that. You know, obviously, it looks like Nick is actually having a little bit of a hard time. He's up high, and we mentioned that before the race here. Going to see these guys as the laps go on. We're 27 laps into the run here. He's already going to the high side there, the middle of the track. He's probably searching around for some grip in that thing.
Absolutely, and then going back and looking, the guy that's going to be coming up to challenge him for that 4th spot is Chad Coleman. Chad Coleman, you know, is 6th in points coming in tonight. So with the 57 car not making tonight's race, that could be $15 more going to the number 20 car. So he's racing for a little extra cash tonight if he can move up to the 5th spot in points.
Absolutely. Chad Coleman has done an outstanding job, in the Truck Series, too, this past season. Jose Gonzalez, I call him Speedy Gonzalez, man from down there in Puerto Rico, and he's got that singing frog, man, in the background, and I know that thing's singing right now for him because he's up to 6, trying to see what he can do to run down the top 2 guys up there, Mitch Rollo and Chad Cole, to see if he can't sneak out of here with a championship. Nelson Rivera, right behind him, Steve Goschak, Eric Arnold, and Nick Silver, all around in the top 10.
It's been a great race to this point, Joe. Right now, Rollo has not got away. We mentioned earlier about a 1.3 second lead. That's where he still has right now the advantage over Anthony DeBarro. Chad Cole, has now cleared himself the Nick Timms machine. He has got his sights set on DeBarro, so we'll see what Chad can do on making up some time.
Absolutely, watching that. And I'm watching this battle between Tommy Rhines, Jonathan Cadell, Sean Ewing. I finally got that right there for him. But I just saw Jonathan.
Shane.
Is it Shane?
Shane,
you're right.
yeah. So you
my
got
bad.
the last name right.
I got the last name. See, I knew it'll mess something up before it's over with. Shane Ewing. There we go. Mom, sorry. I know she's watching out there. I was watching out the front window of Tommy Ryan's here, who is following Jonathan Goodell, and I'm noticing, boy, they're already starting to fight these machines. Jonathan had that back end all kind of wiggly coming off the turn there. So far, at lap 31, even though they might go to 50, they're going to start feeling it in the tires.
Yeah, and too, Joe, the cool part about this racetrack, and you saw it in the real thing on Sunday, is a driver that stops early can get that advantage because tires do play, obviously, like in most racetracks, they play a big factor. So you can make up a few seconds on the track with fresh tires. So I would say for anywhere from 40 to 55, look for guys in the back here, like Tommy Ryan, like Jonathan Goodell or Shane Ewing, could decide to come in early and short pit this first run.
Absolutely. Just noticed that paint job on Chris Jabou's car. Another Hitman wear machine out there on the number 1. Nice looking job there.
Yeah, Chris is coming into the race a little optimistic. Found some issues in the chassis of the car that has been plaguing him. So he's out there right now with, he thinks he's got everything kind of straight on the car again. So we'll see what happens with Chris tonight. And yeah, the Hitman Racewear sponsorship on that Chevrolet.
All right, look, I got to say the reason the chassis is it's a Chevy.
That could be. No, I'm a Chevy guy. So
I had to say it. When you said that, I had to say it.
I was thinking the chassis behind the wheel, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, too. I had to mess with you. As soon as you said chassis, I was like, I know it. No, but hey, yeah, Chris Jabou, man, good guy out there. Got that Hitman wear. Right now, Jonathan Lockhart looking to try to go to the inside of him and take the spot back there. You've got Ed Burrell, Doug Roth back there. I got to see if Doug's in his STP machine. No, he's back in the Marlboro machine tonight. All right, well, I'm so used to seeing him in the King machine.
Yeah, that's not even right. I don't know why Doug's playing with our emotions.
I know, it's terrible.
He's the STP guy, and I don't know what he's doing here. But I don't know what happened here, Joe, but looking at our standings, Justin Fuller and Dwight Beverly both out of tonight's event. And then, of course, Brian Wortman just a few laps down. So did you catch what happened on the 00?
I did not catch what happened on Justin Fuller there. It's just 5 laps ago. He was down. I don't know if he hit the wall or something, but he was actually up front there at one point. Well, I have no clue, but he is out of this race. Maybe we can find out later on what's going on, because I actually was looking back there at Brian Wortman, and speaking of Brian, that guy right there, man, had a Cinderella race a couple weeks ago in the trucks. That was awesome, and I'd like to see him out here. A lot of people go, well, why does he race? He races in them. Man, the guy races because it's fun, and he loves it. Lovable guy, man. Great dude, man, to talk to, and it's an awesome story, man, to read about his. And I just like talking about him, I guess.
Brian Wortman has been a savior to this league, and he's a great friend. He's a great person. I'm so glad to have him here. And, they just finished up the Xfinity Series this year with Morgan Shepherd Racing, and Brian's setting to make another year in NASCAR, so he's got a few offers, and we'll be praying for him in the offseason. He picks up something sooner than later.
Absolutely. Noticed, looks like he went into the pits, though, Brian did, because he's going around hosing him. Looks like Sean Casto also out of this one.
Yeah, I went back and looked on the 00. Absolutely no damage, no nothing. I think they had some issues. The driver has been reported sick, so we'll say it could have been electrical. We're not sure, but yeah, definitely nothing that happened on the racetrack at the end
What
of the
about
day.
Sean Casto there? He just actually went out 4 laps ago. Up there, I mean, we technically got 3 machines technically out. Glenn Campbell's still there trying to get repairs done. But Sean Casto, Justin Fuller, and Dwight Beverly, like you said, all out of this race right now. As some of these guys are opting to go for green flag pit stops. Jason Barham, Brian Wortman are 2 of the ones there, as Mitch Rollo is still leading it by 1.4 seconds out front of Anthony DeBarro. That's one way of putting the championship at ease. Just win the race.
Yeah, no doubt. And going back and looking at the 59 of Casto, he went down into turn 3. The 45 of Dan Denayer right behind him. The 59 just in the wall, and it looks like he went ahead and turned it back in the wall as he was coming out back off toward the 45. So to keep from causing a bigger issue, he walled it again, and that ended the day of the 59 car.
Yeah, went back on the replay and let the viewers see it there. Found it here for him, and you're right. Just went in there and just slammed up against the wall. Hate to see that. Ending his day. Nice looking car. Ending the season here. Not the way he wanted to end it. But man, definitely gave a good effort out there. Sean Casto right there. So he's going to finish it off probably around about the 26th spot. Out of it here tonight. Chad Cole back up to third. Mitch Rollo in control of this one out front. Anthony Navarro sitting in second. Chad Coleman there in fourth. Jose Gonzalez hanging on to the 5th place spot. 3 of your race contenders for the championship tonight. Mitch Rollo, Chad Cole, and Jose Gonzalez all in the top 5 right now.
It's amazing, Joe, how what happens on Sunday, it usually comes over and you get a carbon copy on Monday. And in the Cup race, it was quite boring. It was single file and a long run, and then it got action-packed toward the end. That's kind of how this race is starting out. Everybody just minding their own business, getting out, spreading out, and logging laps.
Right. My man Joey Logano won.
Glad to know he's got a fan.
Yeah, I got to. My youngest one loves it. So, hey, most of the guys I pulled for, they don't race anymore. So that kind of tells my age. But, hey, I'm a Ford guy, so why not? I'll pull for him. It was a good race, man. It was a good thing out there. And like you just said, it does pull over here. It is amazing to see the transitions that, iRacing has made on the tracks here and from these cars. As you see right there, Nelson Rivera almost stuffed it into the wall a little bit. But these tracks running, I mean, you're seeing the grooves that they're running right now. They're running a little low. Some guys are running a little high. We're running about 42 laps in on this run, but everything is throughout the board. All these guys are kind of loose.
Well, Nick Timms has elected to give up his top 5 or top 10 position. He's come in for fresh tires. He's back here battling around Mike Kelly to try to get around him and make up that time we talked about on the leader, Mitch Rollo.
Absolutely. Mitch Rollo right now in command of this one with a 1.6 second lead out front of Anthony Navarro. Chad Cole right there in 3rd place. Chad Coleman, so it's a Chad and Chad show for 3rd and 4th there. Jose Gonzalez sitting up in the 5th. Nelson Rivera up there in the 6th place spot. Steve Gottschalk 7th. Eric Arnold 8th. Scott Simley the 9th. And Nick Silver rounds the top 10.
Yeah, I believe the 2-car Mike Kelly also is we were talking about racing around the 51 car. Both of those cars have fitted. So Kelly, the first of the championship 4 to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires.
Yep, and going to get out there, and that's going to make a huge difference here as a lot of guys men are staying out to that long run. We said about 50, 52 laps is the pit window. We've been out here for about 45, 44 laps so far in this one, but we've had some takers on pit road, most notably, Nick Timms, Mike Kelly. That's another one. He's got to figure something out to get up here and vie for this championship. Maybe, sneaking out. I mean, that's kind of how Mike Kelly has done. He's just kind of figured it out throughout the race. We're at lap 45 of 140. Normally we'd be looking for the halfway point, but, well, there is no halfway point tonight. But we are doing one other thing, Joey. Ain't tonight the final for the Hard Charger thing?
Dash
what is
for
that?
cash.
Dash for cash,
Yep.
yeah, that's it.
Transervice Dash for cash. So Chad Cole, Mitch Rollo. I'll get you the complete lineup, but they're racing for a $25 bonus.
I thought it was on the line there tonight too. Hadn't got the lineup, so folks will get you, in the deal there too. So obviously Chad Coleman, who was running in 3rd place, he's one of those drivers for that, so he could come out with a little bit of extra. Definitely would love to do that. Is it Mitch Rollo's on pit road, our leader? I'm going to try to see if we can get those 4 tires. So he came in around lap 46, 47.
Dash for cash tonight, Chad Cole, Mike Kelly, Mitch Rollo, and Chad Coleman. The only difference from our final 4 is Jose Gonzalez did not make it in. And how that's acquired is it's a 12-race segment. 11 race segment with the 12th race being the bonus money round. So all those results you get through the 12 races or 11 races go in. No bonus points added, no anything. Your best finishes, and that's how we come up with our top 4.
All right, good deal. Well, Chad Cole in command of it right now. We've seen him do this in the past. Stay out there for long runs and make it work. If this thing goes green, this might be a good call right here. Now, a caution probably would mess this thing up, but if this thing stays green and he can stay out there long enough, I'm trying to calculate in my head. They're going to have to make, well, they're all going to have to make one more stop. But Chad's going to be able to make his a lot longer, and those tires will definitely make it up at the end.
And this is the part. This is what we want to see here tonight. We wanted to see, and I know all the drivers wanted to see a green flag race, not let attrition dictate who's going to win this championship. Now it's in the hands of the drivers. We still have a long way to go, and we keep talking caution-free. As soon as we said that, Glenn Campbell had an accident a while ago, so I'm not going to mention that again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, Chad Cole coming in the pit. You're right. That's going to put it over to Chad Coleman up front. Hey, you're right. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, because obviously if we do, next thing we know, boom, and one flies out there. Because you just never know what's going to happen. We still got 6 drivers have yet to come into the pits. 5 drivers, excuse me. That would be Chad Coleman, Eric Arnold, Shane Ewing. I got that one right there. Chad Cole, and it looks like Jonathan Lockhart and Doug Roth have all yet to come into the pit road.
I tell you what's going to be interesting here, Joe. Once pit stops are over with, it cycles back through. Believe it or not, Nick Timms is going to have the lead of this race. He came out with a 3-second lead over Mitch Rollo, and Mike Kelly is right behind him. Now, their tires are going to be older, so we'll see how long they can maintain up there with these guys. They've got a couple of laps. Well, actually, Rollo is now past the 2-car of Mike Kelly.
Yeah, they're actually going to come up to Mitch Rollo and Anthony DeBarros. They're side by side dueling it. Now, this is what I like to see, man. Drivers out there battling it out. Anthony DeBarro, he wants to win the race. Mitch Rollo wants to win a championship. Here's my thing. There is no love lost between these two folks. Let me take you back to Martinsville, because that was a barn burner between them. And I'm gotta believe that Anthony DeBarro wants this race. But here's the thing. Can Mitch Rollo hold his emotions and understand that, hey, the 5 has nothing to lose? You got everything in the world to lose there in that 96.
You're right, Joe, and this is when you hope you got the right people in your corner to kind of keep you reminded of that. But we mentioned earlier about the real deal in NASCAR. We got the Logano and Martin Truex Jr. rivalry here at Sim500 between Rollo and DeBarro.
Oh, absolutely, and it spewed over heavily, man, at Martinsville. Those two went at it, man, tooth and nail. And actually, I didn't mention it really last week. I did mention the notice that Anthony switched over to a different car manufacturer, but he switched teams too. They were teammates, so that is a big deal there. Didn't make too much of it last week, but man, this right here could have, what do we always like to chase implications. That's the word that they love using on what, NBC or something.
Chase implications. You're right. It could be encumbered too, Joe.
There we go. Yeah, but right now, Anthony DeBarro and Mitch Rollo. I know Mitch wants to win this race, but he has to understand the big picture here. Now, obviously, if he is much faster, sure, blow the doors off that 5. But if the 5 of Anthony is just as fast as him, and he's not going to give over or roll over and let him go, no pun intended, and let him go, then Mitch has to understand that, hey, I can't get up here and beat fenders with this guy, because I've got Chad Coleman in back there breathing down my neck.
And that's the greatest thing, is to have, again, those people in your ear reminding you of what you're here to do, and that's to win the championship.
As Nick Timms, he's going to cycle through. Shane Ewing, as the man out front, has yet to make a pit stop right now. Chad Cole's in second. Eric Arnold up in the third. You've got Nick Timms going to be there in fourth. And Nick Timms goes around old Chad Coleman, because Chad Coleman, he's going into the pits right now. It's actually going to bring him up. So Shane right now has yet to come into the pits, and you can see right now still Anthony DeBarro and Mitch Rollo still, they are bumper to bumper. Just interested to see what's going to happen. Kind of on the edge of my seat on this one.
All the cars in front of Nick Timms is pitted. Eric Arnold completed service. Chad Coleman as well. Shane Ewing just made his stop, so it will cycle back around. The 51 of Nick Timms will lead the race. But look how much ground the DeBarro machine and Rollo machine have made. They have cut that gap in half, and they're on the back bumper of that 51 machine.
Absolutely. It's such a hard place to pass. Even though Mitch might be a touch faster than Anthony, the problem is catching and passing is two different things, and I got a feeling it's not going to make it very easily. So we're going to see what's going to happen here with Nick Timms. As you see the closing rate right there on Mitch, as Nick is going to go high, Anthony's going to go low, he's going to go up underneath him. Mitch has to be patient here. And I say that, Mitch is one of these considered, I would consider here probably one of the most, one of the aggressive drivers here. Chad Cole being probably one of the most laid back. Now, Chad wouldn't mind them getting up there wrecking each other.
Absolutely not. I don't think you would mind that at all. But this is the cool part, and you look at this, is Nick Tim stopped around lap 45, I believe, and the 5 and the 96 of Rollo, they stopped about 6 to 8 laps past the 51 machine, and they're just miles apart. But we talked about making up time on the track, and that's exactly what Tim's did. And also Mike Kelly, who's now up to the 4th spot, just losing a spot to Jose Gonzalez as he moves into the 4th position.
It played dividends at the end here of this race. Like I said, that's the thing Chad Cole did. He's sitting on probably the best tires of all of them up front, sitting in 6th place. Yes, he's 7.4 seconds back, but his lap times are almost a half second faster than Anthony Navarro, and that's huge.
And it takes a driver like Chad Cole to have these fresher tires, but also understand not to overdrive his race car. You still have to be patient. Let the car roll in the corner. Don't drive it any different. You may be way 10 seconds behind. Let these tires do their job, and that's what Chad Cole's going to do.
Man, I tell you what, still watching this battle up here up front right now. Mitch Rollo is all over the back deck lid of the 5 of Anthony Navarro. It reminds you, folks, like I said, there's not a lot of love lost between these two. Martinsville, they went at it, tooth and nail, knocking each other, all over the place. And a little retaliation, and definitely not going to be any Thanksgiving greeting cards between the two. Mitch is looking high. I got a feeling Anthony's not going to do it. He's going to try to cross him over. Now they're going to go side by side.
This is some extreme. Oh, they make contact.
I knew it was going to happen. Oh, man, Joe, I tell you what, right there's not what Mitch Rollo wants to happen. He made the pass clean, but Anthony Navarro's not going to make it easy. Here's the thing, though. If they get near each other than the rest of this race, man, I'm going to tell you what, our blood pressure is going to go skyrocket again.
Well, it's kind of like last week when the Mike Kelly and Jose Gonzalez machines, two drivers basically locked in at the point of the race, make contact, get into each other. You're like, what are you thinking? And it's kind of like right here. That could have been your championship. But thankfully, all 4 tires still up and the 96 car still rolling. But I would make sure if I'm the 96, I keep my foot on the floor and get away from the 5 as fast as you can.
Oh, yeah, because, again, Anthony Navarro has nothing to lose here. And now I'm not condoning him going up there and wrecking a car. But at this rate, that's probably what it might be. I'm with you. Mitch Rollo needs to say, I need to put this thing in afterburners and get away. Caution on the track, though.
Looks like it's back there with the Jason Barham machine.
Jason Barham. See what happened here on the replay here. Oh, yeah, got contact there between the 83. That looks like the 8 machine was involved. Let's go back one more time. It's number 8 of Randy Yoakum. They all was almost 3 wide back there, and they just had a little contact coming out of the turn.
Yeah, it looked like the 83 wreck going straight. I don't know if I'll have to ask Jason what happened there in the kick-ass machine, but he literally just wrecked going straight.
It almost looked like what happened to Glenn Campbell. Coming out of the turn of the straightaway, that thing got, all kind of wiggly on him, went into the wall and bounced off the wall. And unfortunately, the 8 machine of Randy was right there. Wrong place, wrong time. Wow, I tell you, pit stops. Everybody, they did their pit stops while we were watching. Actually, oh, they came on pit road, my bad. Wow, I'm going to tell you, if Anthony beats him off pit road, woo, I like the excitement. I love it. I'm
they're all heading down pit road. The biggest winner from that, Joe, was the number 2 of Mike Kelly. As we saw early in the race, he was mired back and outside the top 10 between 12th and 14th position. He rolls into the pits in 7th, so he's going to be inside the top 8. So all 4 of our playoff drivers inside the top 8 here with 65 laps down in tonight's event.
Going to be a good one here as this one is concluded. And look at who beat off on pit road, folks. Man, get your soda, get your pack of cigarettes, whatever's going to calm you down, because Anthony Navarro beat Mitch Rollo off pit road. Woo! Them two are going to have a night, and at some point, like I said, Mitch is going to have to understand, can't get up here and beat fenders as long now, especially with Chad Cole there, Jose there, and Mike Kelly.
Well, it's a shame of what happened with DeBarro. DeBarro should be racing for this championship, but unfortunate circumstances with the real world and having to work took him out of a race. He barely made it into the second round due to that, and it's just been playing catch-up ever since. One of the strongest competitors. We've seen him week in, week out, up front every week. So, yeah, here we go. This is something we look forward to 2019 for sure.
Absolutely. I love the thrilling ends here to it. I love, man, what these guys do up front. Again, you got one driver that wants to prove that I can win. Well, he has done a lot of winning this season, but he wants to prove that he can end this season a 2018 strong here at the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. You got another one, though. He wants to end this thing with a win and a championship, and they don't like each other, folks. I'm not exaggerating on that. We give you just a quick history here, and this is the things that we notice. Anthony DeBarro, a couple weeks ago at Martinsville, they got into it on the track. Well, the next week or two later, guess what? He's in a new car and on a new team because they were teammates. And now tonight, well, Mitch is going for it all, championship and everything, but he cannot go toe-to-toe, round to round with that 5. Because, like I said, Anthony has nothing to lose here.
Yeah, its tensions are picking up inside. Just kind of catching some of the race chat going around right now. There's definitely some heavy emotions between two guys. One of them not even in the playoffs, and the other driver leading the championship right now.
But you know what? Here's the thing. I do not blame the 5 of Anthony DeBarro one bit. He has a fast machine. He is not holding up anybody. He is not out there laps down or anything. He has all the right in the world, folks, to get up there and race hard. If Mitch wants this thing and wants to win, he has to either say, look, I'm going to take the chance and get up there and go door to door with the 5 machine of Anthony DeBarro, or I'm going to sit back and try to hold off that 82 and the 26 and the 2 machine of Mike Kelly for the championship. It'll be interesting to see what he does and which one he picks.
That's the only, you're right, Joe. It's which one he picks, and the only one he's got to beat is the 3 cars you mentioned. So the 5 right now definitely should not even be a factor, but we'll see how they do here. Was the go back green, Chad Cole within striking distance. Business is picking up, Joe. It's definitely going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Lap 66 when they cross the line will be lap 67 and 140 here at Homestead. Season finale. And, folks, it's a good one. You got 2 rivalries up front. Anthony DeBarro is going to bring them to the green flag. Mitch Rollo up top. He is vying for a championship. They don't like each other. They're going to beat and trade paint here as a pace car heads off into the pit road. Green flag flies. We're back racing at Homestead. Chad Cole says, fellas, y'all get up there. Oh, and Mitch looked like he spun the tires a little bit.
Off into turn 1, he's going to do the crossover. Oh, they almost made contact again between the 96. He got in the left rear quarter panel of 5. DeBarro able to hang on. Chad Cole right here watching all this happening as he has now got the championship in sight.
Oh, yes, he does, and that's what Mitch has to understand as Chad Cole is beating down his back deck lid. Cannot get up there and race as behind him. They're all single file, but you got to go back here to Steve Goschalk, Jonathan Goodell. We are 2 by 2 by 2. There's awesome racing going on all throughout this field.
Chad Coleman dives hard down the corner, watching back there. Mike Kelly now, he's looking the inside. The cars are pushing. They're all just looking for a spot right now to get to the top of the racetrack.
Mike Kelly's in a position he does not want to be in, right there in the middle of a hornet's nest. He knows the guys in front of them want to do everything they can to get positions. Mike's just trying to get up here to get away from them. He would love to be up there with Chad Cole and him. Anthony DeBarro's still in control, but man, this is a race back here amongst about 8th on back.
Leading that group now, look at Scott Stenzel. He's up to the 6th spot. Again, we mentioned Scott had the highest finishing position for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series team for Cobb Motorsports at Daytona. He's leading that group, but Mr. Steve Gottschalk, they call him Nerf, right there in the 7th spot. He's had an up and down season for the last couple of weeks. That 91 car has been right there in the front of the field. He's finding what he's needing out of that race car right now, right when he needed it the most.
Absolutely, you're right. He's up to 7. Scott Simley, call him Smiley. Right now, smiling a cool breeze is at number 12. Sitting in 8th, Jonathan Goodell right in the 9th place. Chad Coleman sitting in 10th. They are all still trying to fan it out, single file, the best that they can. But there's still a couple of them are 2x2. As Anthony DeBarro still out front. Mitch Rollo in 2nd. Chad Cole right there in 3rd.
Did you see that? More contact, the 96 in the back bumper of the 5. Chad Cole needs to get between those two guys or get away from them is what he needs to do.
Well, right now, Chad Cole saying, look, fellas, I understand you don't like each other, and Mitch Rollo, but it would be a shame if Mitch got up there and turned the 5 and then the 82 got involved. That would be the ultimate just disheartening thing to happen out there. And it could. It's racing. It's one of those things. But right now, like we said, it is a tough battle. Mitch has to watch himself because here comes Chad Cole to the inside.
Chad Cole has been quiet all night just looking for his opportunity. While the 96 is focused on the 5, here comes Chad Cole going for the championship lead.
Yes, he does. All he needs to do is get in front of him. And I think once Chad does, Chad will be like, look, I don't care if Anthony wins the race. I would love to win it. He probably would. But he's not going to get up there and sacrifice. Mitch is intense on trying to get up there and duke it out with the 5. I don't know that game plan's going to work. But right now, he's got the 82 breathing down his back deck lid.
Just missed the notification. We are now in the second half. The final half of the season right now here at Homestead. Just about 67 laps to go, and we'll have a champion decided.
Absolutely, and right now the championship battle is amongst those two. Mitch Rollo, Chad Cole sitting in 2nd and 3rd. Anthony DeBarro out front would love to just cap it off with an awesome win. He's not going to make it easy on that 96 to get around him, but don't count out the man in 5th place. Heck, don't count out the man in 4th place there. Nick Timms, he's doing an outstanding job sitting there. But you got the other contender, Jose Gonzalez. He's sitting there going, maybe they'll all just wreck themselves and I'll get around them.
You know, Joe, earlier today I thought, man, I really want to be out there racing. But, you know, this is the best seat up here to watch all this action. And, yeah, it has absolutely been, well, there we go again, the 96 to the back bumper of the 5 car.
And here's what he's got to worry about. If he taps him too hard, damaging the front nose of that machine, devastating to the 96. You got to understand, back end damage to the 5 might not be too bad, but if he hits him too hard, it actually could damage the nose, hurt the aerodynamics on that car. So he needs to watch what he's doing. I understand a little bump, that's okay, but he gets up there and hits him too hard one time. Chad Cole could, man, just sling on by him and go.
Well, going to take a step back here in the 6th position now. Steve Gottschalk has cleared the 24 of Scott Stenzel. We'll see what Mr. Steve Gottschalk has as he's going to try to close in on Jose Gonzalez for that 5th spot.
Oh, yes, it is, as you're looking at that. Chad Cole, though, is going to dive it on the inside. I think Chad understands he's got to get away from these two right now. He does not want to get caught up in a mess. That would be an unfortunate set of circumstances, as you see Jose Gonzalez, like you said, back in 5th. And, well, Corbin, you know, the thing is they just don't like each other. And I enjoy this style racing. I'm like Joey up here. It's the best seat in the house. And these guys right now, this is what I want to see. Heart on the track, hard racing, battling. Obviously, I don't want to see two guys wrecking each other all the time, but I do like seeing men hard racing.
Yeah, and two, we go back and we talk about line sensitive this racetrack is right now. Each guy is in the tire tracks of one another. This is the fastest around right now. Nobody breaking away, everybody under a blanket. Who could be that car to do what Rollo did? Oh, more contact right there between the 96 and 5. This is definitely something that, again, if I'm Chad Cole's crew chief, I'm saying back up, get away from this. And Jose Gonzalez, he's in the best spot. He can make a save. He can slow his race car down and not be involved if something were to go south.
And you're right. And right now, everybody's probably saying, wow, the 5, just get out the way and let them run. Obviously, Mitch is probably a touch faster than him, but he's taking that line that he needs. And you said it, line sensitive. It is so hard to pass here as the tires wear down. I mean, Chad Cole, look at him back there in 3rd place. He has had a couple times looking on the inside of Mitch, just can't get it done. He needs the line that they're in, and that's why Mitch is getting such a run to the back bumper of the 5 of Anthony DeBarro. The problem is, well, Anthony's got that line that he needs, and he's not going to give him that middle to the high line of the track.
We see the 96 and the 82 both take more of a higher arc into turn 1. DeBarro stayed in the middle of the racetrack. You get a much better run off the corner the higher you are on exit.
And let me remind something, because I do got the boss man up here with me, folks, so he can back me up or tell me if I'm wrong. One, rules. Have at it, guys, out here on the track. I love it. Let them race.
Yeah, well, we still. Oh, here we go. Chad Cole's making a move to the inside. The 96 roll. Yeah, well, I can't even talk, Joe. This is too good.
You're right. Chad Cole looked to the inside for a moment. Thought he had an opening right there. He is just hoping that those two guys get into each other, maybe get a little loose, push up the track just enough for him to slip on by. Here comes the Jose Gonzalez out of nowhere in 4th place. Call him Speedy Gonzalez. Man, folks, we got a race for the championship. Mitch Rollo in 2nd, Chad Cole in 3rd, Jose Gonzalez in 4th, and Anthony DeBarro out front saying, hey, I'm going to make this thing huge and wide.
And somebody has been here at the racetrack. He's been quiet. Jose Gonzalez firing off right now here. He's trying to flex his muscle. You got the top 3 drivers under a blanket racing for a championship.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I know y'all out in the chat saying get the 5 off the track, but he has been bumped in the back I don't know how many times. And I'm going to tell you, being able to hold on to that machine at the speeds that they're running, that is a driving job, and that's a testament to what he does. Again, you saw this in real NASCAR. It is so hard to pass here, and if you've got the line, well, they don't have to move, and that's just it. I don't want Anthony DeBarro just to pull over and say, oh, go on, guys, y'all running for a title, have at it. No, he's got a fast enough car out there. Make your way around him. If you want to be a champ and you say that you're the best of the best, find a way around me.
Well, we saw a few weeks ago of the 10 car in the Cup Series. What is his Armorola talk about people driving him a little too hard, and this is racing, folks. And if you don't like racing, you're in the wrong thing, because these guys out here, they're racing for a championship, they're racing for a win, and there's nothing out there that says a driver has to pull over for you, Joe. And I'm like you can take it for what it's worth, but your guys you're racing against, they're right behind you, and they're watching and hoping that you make that mistake for them to win the championship.
Oh, absolutely. And it's an awesome, man, run right now. And, yeah, I know you're the teammate to Mitch Rollo out there, Corbin, so I know you're going to be biased. I'm unbiased up here. I love the racing, and we've actually got one heating up for 3rd and 4th. Jose Gonzalez has come into the mix here, and Chad Cole is right there in the mix. Now, one thing that Anthony DeBarro is doing, even though Mitch Rollo might be a touch faster, just like I say, catching and passes, 2 different things, the problem is after a while, those tires are going to, even out between the 2, and you're going to see that the times even out between them as the run goes on.
And here we come to, Joe, the next most important part is the last pit stop of the year. Not again, far as it's not having any cautions, but as we're looking around lap 100 to be that window, that'll put them in a 40-lap run to the end. So from now till then, well, actually, let's say right around 100 would be that stop.
Well, as far as I thought Anthony, man's not on there. He says he changed teams as of last week there, Corbin. I don't know if you were here last week and heard that. He changed teams. So that's why this makes it even more interesting. Now they're side by side again. Can he make the pass? He's down low. He's going for the lead. Just can't. Just like that right there, Joey. That high line is so dominant. We've seen it in the real Homestead race. The high line is so dominant coming off the turns. You got so much traction coming off of it.
Yeah, and I think, too, Rollo's just being really cautious coming off the bottom of the cars. Can get a little loose, and you will need that racetrack, too, as a car will push at the same time. So the top of the track is definitely, if they both go back up the track, Rollo in the footsteps of DeBarro right now. Chad Cole and them still just kind of waiting and watching.
That's what I would do, just wait and watch type of thing right now. Now, if I'm Mitch Rollo, here's the thing. I understand Anthony's just not going to let me by. He's not going to, moving on out the way. So what do I do on this last pit stop? I short pit 1 lap before him and get away from him that way and make him, strategy on the field.
I agree, Joe. We just saw that earlier, and let's just remind everybody what a big difference that was. Nick Timms pitted from about the 7th spot or 6th spot, probably 6 seconds back. He's pitted to about 10 laps early, came out the leader, and Mike Kelly did the same thing. So whoever does go in first will have that advantage. They'll actually force the hand of the other championship contenders to pit.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, and I notice, man, a lot of people are like, don't wreck, don't wreck. Mitch Rollo does not have to win this race. Okay, so if Anthony wants this win that bad, let him have it. The championship is the ultimate goal. He is right now sitting in the catbird seat for it. So he does not need to get up there. So, yes, I look at Mitch Rollo as don't get up there and beat fenders with that 5. Because, well, again, I'll say again, Anthony DeBarro, he's got nothing to lose. Mitch, you have everything to lose.
Yeah, and surely it's been a few laps. I'm sure they've calmed down just a little bit here as they understand now the racing is kind of, you got to focus now getting on and off pit road. You can lose this championship right there. You have to use the access road on entry and exit of the pit. So you think it's exciting now, Joe. Let's wait till these guys start peeling off and making these tire changes.
And the word we don't want to use, if a caution flies, wow, could bunch this thing back up. The reason I'm saying as far as Mitch right now, pitting maybe one lap or so earlier than him, doing a short pit here for the final pit stop. As we're only 26 laps in, we know they can go about 47, 46 laps is what they did on the first run. But you're looking right now, Mitch Rollo has backed off some. I think we're to the point now that the tires have kind of evened off between the front 2 runners. Actually, all 4 of the runners there. Or maybe Mitch is just saying, okay, I know he's not going to make it easy. Maybe I do need to. Chad Cole's breathing down my back deck lid.
Well, Anthony DeBarro is extremely quick. He's won a bunch of races this year, so he's definitely not a driver that's sitting there holding up guys for sure. DeBarro holds his own with just about anybody anywhere, so that number 5 team stretching their muscles here a little bit later in the run.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll give it to him right there, and there's nothing wrong. I'm a firm believer on some hard racing. You get side by side, fender to fender. I think that's what's missing in real NASCAR to this day. You got to remember, I'm an old guy. I came up from the Bill Elliott's, the Darrell Waltrip's, the Earnhardt Seniors, and all that. So you got to remember, I love the side by side trading paint. Guys, nowadays, no aerodynamic on the cars. If you wrinkle the fender or that look at it wrong, that thing will slow down.
I'm like you, Joe. I'm an old school guy. I just love racing in general. So this stuff we're seeing here has been extremely exciting. Follow the leaders, not much fun, I guess you'd say. But these guys here tonight at Sim500, man, they have done one heck of a job putting on the show for us at least.
Absolutely. For the final time here tonight at Homestead, like you just said, for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. Championship 4 here at Homestead tonight. Mitch Rollo there in second. Chad Cole sitting up in the 3rd place spot. Jose Gonzalez right there in the 4th place. And I'm trying to, Mike Kelly's back in 16th. Has fallen off the pace a little bit. Not been able to figure out a way to get up there, but that's your final 4 there. And we've been watching Mitch Rollo. He's done everything he could do to try to get around that 5 machine of Anthony DeBarro. We know he's fast. And I said last week he switched from a Chevrolet to a Toyota. Maybe figure something out between the 2.
2 things real fast, Joe. The 2-car of Mike Kelly, he's definitely going to be one of the guys that's want to get on pit road as fast as he can, or at least before the other guys do, so we can get out there and get a couple laps on those new tires to make up some difference. And also, too, your buddy, Mr. Smiley, Scott Simley, the highest moving driver tonight, coming from the 22nd starting spot and up to the 6th spot right now in the nice field.
And they're looking good, too, like you said, in 6th place spot. And you're right, we're 31 laps into this run. Lap 95 of 140. We know they can go about 46, 47 laps. I'm going to say within the next 5 laps, you're going to see guys starting to come into pit road. Maybe within the next 10 or so, they might come in. If I was Mitch Rollo, I would probably short pit this thing within the next 4 or 5 laps. Try to get a jump on Anthony DeBarro, because if they come on pit road together, it'd be devastating.
Yeah, and you want to give those tires a chance. You need as many laps as you can to make up the time that you went in for. So if you're going to short pit, you need to do it sooner than later. The longer you wait, the less time you're going to have to actually get out there and stretch your legs and make up difference. We saw it last night in our Xfinity series. A lot of guys tried a 2-stop strategy, and it just did not make up enough time in the short run.
All right, I got you. You know, and obviously we sit up here and we talk about strategy of this and that, pitch strategy, and that's what it looks like it's playing into right now. Think about it, they can, you know, we could mess all this up as if a caution comes out, and we'll throw the textbook out the window then. But right now, we're in the green. Looks like Scott Stencil is the first one to come down on pit road.
How would you like to be the guy to bring out the caution tonight, Joe, at this point?
Woo! I don't know. That'd be a tough one.
And this is a big move by Scott Stencil. He's the first guy taken to the pits. You saw what it did again, going back to the 51 car. And actually, I tell you what, it looks like Nick Timms has also stopped. He came out of the 4th spot. So he's giving it all up. He's out on pit road.
Yes, he is. So we're starting to see green flag pit stops happening. Guys are coming in a little bit early here. It's interesting to see what the leaders up here do. I still say that Mitch Rollo should try to come in at least a lap or two earlier than Anthony DeBarro and get away from him and get out front. He's proven he's fast. He can close in right there. He gets closing, but it just can't get around him. So if he can get in front of him, I feel like that's the best advantage that Mitch has right now.
Well, Rollo's closed back in on the 5 car here. We're going to see another battle between these two drivers.
Well, it's heating up front between those two. Anthony's still out there. I just got a feeling Mitch can get to him. He just can't get around him. A lot of that, and I'm not taking anything away from Mitch Rollo as far as skill-wise goes, or Anthony, a lot of it is the track and the car and the amount of time they've been out there on the tires. This place is just so tough to pass.
It is, Joe. We've talked about it all night. And we're going to see with these new tires. Here comes Rollo. He's going down pit road.
This is a smart move, folks, for him to do right here. Short pit it, and I got a feeling if I'm Anthony DeBarro, I see it, I come in the next time by because I don't want him to be too far out there unless I feel like it, because it looks like, you know, Mitch had a lot faster machine than Anthony did on the shorter run. So it'll be interesting to see what Anthony does at this point. Didn't come down on pit road that time, but we'll just have to watch.
Well, another guy we didn't talk about, Jose Gonzalez, one of the championship 4. He came in before Rollo did, so we'll see what happens with the 26. Does this move put him out in front of everybody once it cycles back around?
Absolutely. It'll be a good one here so far. Well, hey, racing's racing and rubbing's racing. That's what I've always said. If you don't like that, then don't race. That's the way I look at it. But that's just me, man, and not everybody agrees with that. But either way, you're right. Jose Gonzalez coming out here. We're going to see if this pays off for him big, because if he can actually get up there, and it looks like he might pass Mitch Rollo. He does make the pass on Mitch, so he gets out in front of him. Now we're going to see if that holds off, because Jose Gonzalez could have put himself in the right spot he needed.
Well, true, but also you got to think the 96 is so much faster. Jose's not been able to hold him off or be right there with him. He's been with him most of the night, but just has not been able to get around the 96. We'll see how long the 26 can hold him off.
Yeah, and as you see right there, Mitch is just trying to close the gap in. Not too far between those two, and about a lap difference between the tires. Jose's just trying to do everything he can. Here comes Mitch. Now, maybe he can play the card of, hey, look, I'm going to make this car wide. You're going to have to find a way around me somehow, some way.
It's going to get good once this thing cycles back around. Still DeBarro out there. Chad Cole now has hit pit road here.
Chad Cole on pit road. Anthony DeBarro still out on pit road. One thing that would definitely mess this up, a caution.
A caution would definitely mess this up for anybody here in the championship 4.
Would, as Mitch made that pass on Jose. They ran up on the back end of a lap car there of Eric Arnold, who he got up out the way. Good job on his end there, the sportsmanship there, as Anthony's still in command of this one, been out for 41 laps. The only thing I can see here is those tires at the end of the run. If it goes green flag all the way, Anthony's going to have the better tires, as long as he doesn't give up too much track position here.
Well, the big loser in all that's Chad Cole. We'll have to see if he's got enough time. But now he has come out. He's just into turn 3, and the machine of going back to look for Rollo and Gonzalez, they're all the way down the front straightaway. So he's lost about a half a track with those guys, staying out a little longer.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, and that's exactly what's going to happen to Anthony also, who is up front. He's going to lose some time to him, as you know, obviously Mitch is still a lap down. I'm watching Mitch come down the backstretch right now. Anthony DeBarro's heading into turn 3. He's going to blow by him like he's sitting still right now because of, newer tires versus older tires. I got a feeling at this point, Anthony should think about, okay, he's right there. I come in the pits now, so that way when I come out, it's going to be right there on me.
Well, I think his bed's made at this point. He's got to hope for a caution, but that's not what the other guys want to see. They want this thing to race out. When it cycles back around, again, that early pit stop by Nick Timms, he's going to have the lead over Mitch Rollo, but not by very much, as the new tires of Rollo is going to eat him up. And that should be your new leader, is Mitch Rollo.
Yeah, it should be, and that's the way it will be as soon as this one gets cycled back around on the pit stops here.
DeBarro's still staying on the racetrack now as you see Scott Stenzel. Oh, that's extremely close there between the 24 and the 5. Stenzel's going to make that pass on fresher tires. DeBarro's still staying out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the strategy here on Anthony DeBarro's part. Why stay out at this point? Obviously, he's looking for a caution here. He knows he's probably not 1-1 faster than the 96, but if he can stay in front of him, caution obviously would help him here. But at this point, he's given up a lot of track position.
Well, another guy, let's talk about another Final Four, is Mike Kelly. He has elected not to pit at this point. He's loose coming off at turn 4. That number 2 machine now sitting in the 3rd spot, but losing all kind of time at this stage of the race.
He's trying to do what I think Kyle Busch was trying to do. Wait for that final caution to come out front here, as he is just playing that game. He understands he probably does not have the performance that the other guys have here tonight to win it, so he's got to make something happen here and kind of throw a wild card out there.
Well, 2 and a caution comes out. Mike Kelly's sitting there smiling, but right now, you got so many cars on fresh tires, so many cars on old tires. It is prime for that caution to happen. So if it does, Mike comes out smelling like a rose. If not, it's the other way around.
Absolutely. Well, Anthony DeBarro on pit road. Mitch Rollo was coming out of turn 4 at this moment. He's going to go by him, and that way he'll put him in front of him. That'll be all dependent on if those tires are good enough for him to run him down, or he's just too far back at this point. We'll just have to see as the race winds on. Anthony's coming off pit road now. Whew, Mitch is going to be a long way ahead, almost a full lap.
Oh, Mike Kelly, championship leader at this stage, comes on pit road. He gets completely sideways on entry. He's able to save it. The 2 car coming down to get his 4 tires.
Mike Kelly, you're right, on pit road to get the 4 tires here. He's trying everything he can. Looks like he's got a slight damage on the right front of that machine. Might be hindering the handling of that car, but Mitch Rollo is going to cycle through. I said it, this is probably the best strategy he had to get back out there in front of Anthony, because the 5 was just not going to let him go around easily. He had to short pit. He had to play that type of gamble to get up there. Now he wants to see this thing go green the entire way.
I'm going to give another shout out to the 51 car, Nick Timms. He's right there. He just gave up the spot to Rollo, but here he is. He's still in the fight tonight. That 51 Hitman Racewear machine's going to be a solid top 5 contender before the night's over.
Yeah, and I got a bet out there saying that he can get it done. And right now, he is definitely getting it done, sitting in 4th. When it cycles through, he should be sitting in 2nd with Jose there in 3rd, who has done an outstanding job. Scott Stenzel is another one. Wow, good job on his end. Now, just to give you an idea, though, Chad Cole, he's going to have at least a 4-lap advantage on tires. Now, Anthony's going to have about 12-lap newer tires, and I don't know that he's got enough time to do it without a caution. But Jose, he's on 13-lap stint right now. He's about even with actually Mitch Rollo out there.
Chad Cole now making the pass on the 91 of Steve Gottschalk for the 7th spot. Cole is about 5 seconds back, give or take, to the Rollo machine. He has got to hammer down at this point to get that 82 car back in contention for this championship.
Absolutely. Good one, man. Winding down here at Homestead, Miami. Season finale here at the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. You got Shane Ewing out front. Say hi to Mom there. Wave at her as you go by. And Mitch Rollo sitting in 2nd, just waiting for him to take his pit stop here. And he'll take back over the lead as Jose Gonzalez sits in 3rd. You've got Nick Timms, we were talking about it. Jose got around him, but he's right there in 4th place spot. Scott Stencil up to 5th, having a good run, but he's got Chad Cole on the inside of him for that spot.
Rolo's has about a half or a straightaway lead. We'll just give him a straightaway lead over Chad Cole. Jose Gonzalez was there, just not much he can do with him at this point. So it's going to be the 82. Can those new tires put Chad Cole in a position to win this championship?
Absolutely. It's a good run right now. Chad Cole, definitely, he has put himself. Everybody's got what they've got here. Obviously, unless a caution comes out at this point, we're at lap 116 and 140, folks, here. Laps are winding down here at the season finale here at Homestead. It is a good one so far. What's up, KB? How you doing out there?
Just watching that 82 machine dive down the middle of 3 and 4. He is making up time ever so slightly on the Mitch Rolo machine.
Yeah, he is. I mean, those newer tires are going to pay dividends. Like I say, at the end here, it's definitely going to be an awesome. At some point, though, they do even out. That's the problem with it here. Maybe getting there, passing, or catching and passing, that's two different things. But it's going to be interesting to see as Mitch is heading into turn 3. Chad Cole, not that far back from him either. He's probably about 4 seconds, maybe 3.5 back from him.
It's going to get good, Joe. It's Chad Cole. You know, it's amazing staying out. Look where DeBarro, how far he's dropped back just by staying out there. The early pit stops, Nick Timms has been somebody that really benefited earlier. Mike Kelly benefited earlier. So it's amazing a lot more of those guys didn't jump on pit road early. But let's see what happens. We haven't seen a car with fresh tires run a car down. Like you said, they do even at a certain point. So a lot of pressure on the 82 team.
Yeah, just watching the lap times. I mean, obviously he is a touch faster than Mitch is right now with the newer tires. Again, that's going to kind of settle it. He's still got to get around Nick Timms and Jose Gonzalez, and Jose's not going to make it very easy for him right now as Mitch is out front, and Shane Ewing still 56 laps out front here, has yet to make a pit stop. And as I say that, here he comes on pit road.
And now the field will completely cycle back around and go back in the hands of Mitch Rolo, as he was going to run down and take the lead no matter what. Rolo has the lead coming out of turn 4.
Yes, he does, and he is looking to cap this thing with a win and a championship here, but he's got a Chad Cole in an 82 that is hard charging it to the front, and Nick Timms, well, he just says, go on, my friend, and see what you've got up front there. Chad Cole is on the move, folks, here. The top 3 guys are battling for a title. Mitch Rolo, Jose Gonzalez, Chad Cole, 1, 2, and 3.
The final 20 laps of the Transervice Cup Series, the Monday Night Money Series. It's going to be exciting here as we, again, 20 to go. Rolo leads off 4.
But the guy I am really looking at is only 7.9 seconds back, and he is making time up like game busters. That's the 5 of Anthony DeBarro. He could, if at this pace, catch and run down those leaders up front. He is passing cars left and right. Remember, he has got a ton of newer tires than they do as he goes around the number 21 machine, going up high right now, and he's going to run down the 22 for the 7th place spot.
It's getting fired up. It's getting interesting here. Chad Cole has gained some time. He's 3.3 seconds back. He's shaved off about 2 seconds, but I just don't, Joe, I don't think he's got enough time here. I just don't see it.
Well, and I'm looking at the lap times, and you're right. It's just those tires are starting to even out. He's only got about 4 laps. His last lap was a 32.505 to a 32.591. He's only making up hundreds. He was making tenths up before, and that's what I'm saying. The tires eventually just fall off. A caution is what's needed. If Mitch Rolo just keeps the pace he's going, no trouble, don't get into anything, obviously no caution flies, I think that man might cruise in for a championship here tonight.
It's funny, we talked about on Sunday how the top 4 all of a sudden are a little bit faster than the rest of the field. Is it fixed? Well, look at it here tonight at Sim500. The top 3 guys are the fastest 3 guys, the most consistent 3 drivers here racing for the championship, all again in the top 3.
Absolutely, but they do have one other guy coming, and he is 6.6 seconds back, and that is that number 5. And if he can get close, I don't know what he's going to do, but it'll be very, very interesting because he is At this point, he's almost a half second faster than Mitch Rollo, so he is knocking time down. But is he going to run out of time with about 15 to go?
Yeah, I don't see it happening for him, unfortunately. That late pit stop just was the bury, the hatchet. Just not enough laps for the 5 car to make it all the way back up. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, right now I think that the key is going to be Chad Cole. The problem is I think those tires have just leveled off, and this is what happens around about the 20th lap mark. Yes, he's a tick still faster than Mitch, but just not enough with being 3 seconds back. It was, I called it earlier in the race, Mitch had to do an early pit stop. He had to do what he had to do there to get in front of these guys, because if he would have been behind them, a track position is so important here.
Absolutely. The early pit stop was the way to go, Joe. You called it perfectly, and that's what put the 96 car out front and gave him the championship to lose.
Absolutely. He's just got to just go around 4 turns. It is basically at this point right now his to lose. He's just got to be careful, make sure he stays out of trouble. Up front stays clean, hits his mark lap in and lap out. Yes, right now Chad Cole is a little bit faster, but the problem is he's 2.9 seconds back and time is running out here tonight.
Yeah, it's like you said, once you get to the Jose Gonzalez machine, he's not going to pull over. There's money on the line. Each position pays more. So I don't look for once Chad Cole gets to 26, he just rolls over and gives those meatballs away.
No doubt about it, man. And they are definitely fast tonight. Hats off to Jose Gonzalez. Unfortunately, Mike Kelly back in 15th, just not having the night he wanted, but he has done everything he's needed to do. Had an exceptional season so far, just back there in 15th spot. But the top 3 drivers right here, folks, it is awesome. Chad Cole is pulling in on Jose Gonzalez. So I think the battle's going to be for second right now, but if they look in the rearview mirror, there's somebody else coming.
And he just cleared the 51 car of Nick Timms. That's Anthony DeBarro. He's rolling into turn 1. The 5 car's got the freshest tires right now than anybody on the racetrack. He's going to set his sights on now Chad Cole. So Cole needs to get quick work of Jose Gonzalez.
Yes, he is, and it's got a feeling, though. The problem is right now he's just too far back because we got 12 to go in this one. The 2 things I like to point out, obviously the last lap puts an end to it. 5 to go. Normally in iRacing, if a caution does fly, that will put an end to it here too. As Chad Cole's looking to try to run down Jose for the 2nd place spot, as right now Mitch Rollo is driving off into the sunset. He has got a 2.4 second lead over those 2 competitors behind him.
Just nice and easy in the turns 3 and 4, letting that number 96 car slide through the middle of the corner here off of turn 4. There is no challenge. Nobody around the 96 car at this point. No lap cars. It's just Rollo in the track.
Oh, absolutely, and he is rolling through it right now, looking good. Well, he has had a interesting chase to get to this point. Can he cap it off with a championship and a win here tonight? He has done everything. He's battled it out. He's done all he's needed to do here this year. And for the Boomtown guys, well, what it was. I think they switched later on in the season, but it started with him. A new team here at the Sim500. Sean Bounty winning the actual dual race early on, beginning of the season here at Daytona. Now, can that team cap it off and finish it strong with a championship here tonight?
Here comes Brian Wortman, fresher tires. The only challenge Rollo's going to see here in the closing laps. Wortman to the bottom of the track. The 96 gives him plenty of room, and the 89 is on his way around.
Absolutely. Chad Cole is right on the back deck lid of Jose Gonzalez. Going to be a battle there for 2nd place here. It's going to be interesting. I think Anthony might be able to give them a challenge up there for that spot. Look at Chad Cole, though, on the inside. He's going to try to take that 2nd place from Jose. Want to see how much of a battle. Jose says, man, I just don't have the tires and the handling right now, and Anthony loops it coming out of the turn.
Oh, and a caution comes out.
Ooh. It ain't over with. That. I know what they gonna say. I know what's about to happen out there in the chat. Now, I'm not going to say it. But I already know what they're thinking. And I know, man, you can hear probably the radio going crazy. It's not over with. But this is going to bunch the field up. Your top three guys, Mitch Rollo, Chad Cole, Jose Gonzalez, all are going for a championship. Thing about it is, even though Anthony DeBarro brought the caution out, going to be way back marred in the back there. But I just don't, Bill, I don't understand what this is going to do. Now, do you come on pit road?
Wow. That's all I can say is wow at this point. Is if we needed any more excitement, I can only imagine what the Rollo team's feeling right now as they had this thing in their hands. And now this caution is definitely could take the championship away from them.
All right, here we go. Chad Cole. And it actually looks like Mike Kelly says, hey, I'm going to stay out. Although I might say it's a bad call. Here's the two things you got to think about. When they go back green, it'll be almost not quite a green flag, white checkered here. There'll be at least probably about 3 or maybe 4 laps to go. I'm trying to look at it. Mike Kelly's got on 23 old tires. Obviously, yes, everybody behind him went into pits and going to get 4 tires. He's got nothing to lose at this point, Joey. He might as well try to gamble and stay out there. You never know if a caution flies on the start and he's out front. Guess what? He wins the race.
Well, I was going to say, you called it perfectly earlier here in iRacing with 5 to go. A caution comes out, pretty much over with, unless you wind up seeing a one-lap shootout. But this is, yeah, I mean, as far as the 2-car and Mike Kelly, this is the only opportunity they have. So if they get a restart, have a caution, Mike Kelly's your champion.
And that's right. So folks, there's going to be about I'm going to say roughly 3 to 4 laps to go. I'm going to say 3 at the most there. Not quite on the green, white checkered part when they do go back to green, but Mike understands. Yes, Mitch Rollo, Chad Cole, and all them are going to be on better tires. Now, here's the other thing: where do you put Chad Cole? Chad Cole in this. If Mike takes the bottom, Mitch takes the top. Chad's going to be right behind old Mike going into turn 1, and he's going to have newer tires. We can see 3 wide going into turn 1.
Well, too, and you got to think about the 2-car having wheel spin. He's got older tires right here. The worst, I guess, I would think if anybody right now in the worst position on this restart would have to be the 96. He cannot pass the 2-car or risk a black flag. So this is going to take a lot of patience out of the 96 team to clear the 2.
And here's the thing: he can't. Let's reiterate on that too for the folks. Can't pass him before the start-finish line, but going into turn 1, he's going to have all the grip in the world up front there to be able to handle that machine, and he's going to have the high line. So the start is on the 2. If he can get in front of him, then I don't know what Chad Cole. Does Chad Cole play the aggressive part? And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be interesting. Hey, Corbin, I got to ask something. Would you want a boring race, or do you not think this is exciting?
I'm not able to see those. Yeah, I don't know. But
well, I'm watching the chat. I mean, obviously, you know what they're out there feeling. Their teammates, emotions are running high. This is going to be interesting because, folks, up front, you've got 3 of the championship contenders. Now, Jose Gonzalez did not get. He had a bad pit stop, and he got marred back in traffic. My thing is, the restart here has got to be dead on. Mike Kelly on the older tires cannot spin those things. That would be detrimental, because if he spins them and that thing cuts right, it could go right into Mitch Rollo and be over with. Chad Cole is going to be the one I'm interested to see. Folks, batten down the hatches. This is going to be interesting here. As the lights are off on the pace car, we're heading off into turn number 3. This will be for the final time, because if a caution flies after this, it is over with here. There'll be about 4 to go. Mike Kelly on 25-lap old tires. Everybody else 4 tires and fuel. Pace cars in. This is it. Final time tonight, Mike Kelly is gone out front, and that's what I thought. And he did he did pass him before the line, but all's fair in love and war.
Well, exactly what Chad Cole needed to see was that 2-car get a clean restart. He did. He's falling like a rock right now. Here we go. Just a few laps now. It's Chad Cole and Rollo battling this thing out.
Absolutely, man. And you just see that's what Mitch Rollo needed right there to get out front in front of him. He got the run, got past, man. Mike Kelly there on the start-finish line, got out front. Can Chad Cole run him down? A caution flies at this point. Does nothing for anybody out there. Now Mitch is very high on the track. Chad Cole has to muster that thing and run it for everything it's worth.
Rollo back even through the caution. He's still able to keep that 96 car out front. All the different things that came across him tonight that could take him out of this championship, and he's still fighting, still driving, off turn 4 leading.
Yes, he does, and he comes across that line. We got 3 to go here, and Mitch Rollo, he only has to go around this place a couple more times to hang on. Does Chad Cole have enough to pull ahead? He's a little bit quicker than Mitch is, but getting to him and getting around him's that's two different things as they coming in for the white flag the final time.
The 2018 Transervice Cup Series is coming to the end. How great is this? You've got the first and second guys battling for the championship right now. To the line, it's all Rollo right now. And Cole has got about 6 to 8 car lengths he's got to make up here in just a couple of corners.
Yeah, he does. And Chad Cole is driving the wheels off of that thing. Just cannot make it up at the best he possibly can. Scott Simley right there, but on the bad stretch for the final time for the championship in turn 3. Chad Cole's going to drive it in as hard as he can, just not close enough. Mitch Rollo is going to do it here at Homestead. He is going to drive it out of 4, and he is going to be the champion and the winner here for the 2018 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice at the Sim500. What a finish to an exciting race and season.
And the season is over with. Rollo dominates tonight, brings home the championship. Again, Chad Cole comes up just 1 spot short in second. Jose Gonzalez, how far did he battle back up? He got up to the top 10 outside the top 10 on that pit stop. And Mike Kelly fell all the way back from 19th on that restart, Joe.
Yeah, and he just had to do what he had to do there. And Mitch Rollo got around. Mitch had a great start on the front side. It is going to be, it was just an awesome race. I enjoyed it. It was exciting to watch. Can't get some of these guys up here to talk to them. Man, Scott Simley, I know, is going to be smiling from ear to ear. He's going to come out of here in old 3rd place here tonight. Chad Cole did everything he could do. What a finish to an awesome, awesome race.
An awesome finish for sure, Joe. Running through the top 10. Again, we mentioned Rollo winning, Chad Cole 2nd, Simley 3rd. Nelson Rivera comes in the 4th spot, and Scott Stenzel, a heck of a run for him in 5th. And then Chad Cole 6th, Nick Timms 7th. And it looks like Mitch Rollo will win the Transervice bonus cash as well as the championship.
All right, good deal. Man, going to come home with a lot of bucks here tonight. He's taking everybody out to dinner. Well, I tell you what, as always, man, it has been a interesting season, but let's bring up this guy right here, the 3rd place man. I'm going to let you speak with him here because it's Scott Simley. I call him Scott Smiley. I know he's got to be smiling.
Scott Simley, you bring it home in 3rd spot. You came from, further than anybody in the field tonight with a 22nd qualifying effort. Congratulations on a great run. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a good run. Our strategy was kind of runs 2 longer fuel runs, and which seemed to be good for us on the long run. It just seemed like I'd gain more positions, the longer I'd run, and then tried to do a short sprint and at the end there, but just wasn't quite enough. But it was a lot of fun. I liked the track, and the setup was good. So it was a lot of fun tonight. Congrats to Rollo, Sim500. I guess, put on a good show.
Yeah, Scott, it was. It was a great show. We definitely thank you for everything this year. You got anybody you want to thank as we close out the 2018 season?
Again, you know, Joey, you deal with a lot of stuff, and like I said, it's appreciated. Ippy's Paint Shop, you know, teammates, Turn 1 heroes. Mike wasn't able to pull it off tonight, but we still had good run. The teammates. Nelson was right there behind me, so just a lot of fun. It's an awesome league. It's just fun to race in. So, vote it.
Great job, Scott, and we'll definitely look forward to seeing you in 2019.
Thank you.
All right, there you go, man. Let's call him Scott Smiley, man. Scott Simley out there bringing it home in third place. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring up here the man, Mike Kelly himself here. Normally we do the second place in the winter, but obviously the second place in the winner of the championship, well, our first and second. So I'm bringing Mike Kelly up here. I'm going to let you get some words with this guy, man. He done an outstanding job. He was one of the four here. Just didn't have enough to get it. Ended up in 16th.
You should.
Mike Kelly, welcome up, man. It's just wanted to bring you up, man. Congratulations on a great season and kind of get your take on tonight's event.
Thanks. It was a pretty good season, but kind of sucked tonight. But hey, I threw the dice at the end and made it exciting.
You absolutely did throw the dice at it, and the biggest thing was like, don't spin the tires, and you got a great restart. Your Turn 1 Heroes team, Scott Simley and Nelson Rivera, had great runs tonight. I know one's in a Ford, one's in a Chevy, right? So maybe, I don't know, manufacturer change. I don't know, Mike.
I don't know. I wish I had their speed. I guess we're going to have to go to school and they can teach me how to be fast here because this track sucks. But I guess the only thing more I could have done was just wait till the green came out. Tried to pile everybody up, but I just figured I'd roll the dice and let them try to wreck on their own, but didn't work out. It was fun.
You did what you had to do, Mike. Congratulations on a great year. And then again, last week we watched in Phoenix. It wasn't handed to you by any means to make it here tonight. But again, congratulations in 2018 making the Final Four.
Thanks, guys.
Tell you what, right there, Mike Kelly, you're right, Joey. He did what he needed to do and an outstanding job there to end. And another guy that did an outstanding job, Jose Gonzalez, the other contender here. Bring him up. Call him Speedy Gonzalez. Curious to see what happened to him on that last pit stop.
Jose, bringing you up here in the booth. This is Joey. We just want to talk to you, man. You had a great run tonight. Tell us what happened in that last pit stop, because we look up and the next thing we know, you're mired back in traffic.
Yeah, well, I didn't have anything for Mitch there at the end, so I saw Chad behind me, and he's like, let's race for it, and I'm like, no, go, you go ahead. I mean, I think he deserves it. He's been raced, he's been leading these championship points, and just go ahead. And right there, the caution comes out, and the bad luck I have is that Chad pits right in front of me. So when we go to pit road, I couldn't see my pit box because he was right in front of me, and I mean he pits behind me. So when he goes to his pit, I couldn't see mine, so I just overshot it a little bit. So I lost like 8 positions or more right there. So I didn't have anything for Mitch there, so I wasn't that frustrated there at the end. Although I thought about staying out just like Mike did. He had a chance there to win the championship. If we had a wreck there on the restart, he would have gotten away with it.
Yeah, and that's something we looked at. We couldn't believe the call, but also too, yeah, you had a mixture of things that could have happened and could have gave the championship away or gave it back to Mike Kelly. I was kind of surprised we didn't see guys take 2 tires to get that track position, and that could have been something that changed the outcome of this race completely. But great job tonight, Jose, and more importantly, great job for this season. You're going to come home 3rd place overall this year with a Transervice Cup Series here at Sim500. Great season, and we look forward to next year having the 26 on track.
All right, man. Great job, both of you guys. I've enjoyed it this season very much.
Tell you what, we call him Speedy Gonzalez, and he done an outstanding job. He was definitely fast all night long. Well, go to second place here, and I'm going to tell you, this guy throughout the whole entire season here, Joey, he held back. And when the chase time came, he was the aggressor out there. Said he was the ice man. Well, he was cold as ice through the season, but he got hot here in the chase, and he came up one position short. Chad Cole himself, and bring him up here and talk with him.
To the grid.
Chad Cole, Joey Jatina up here in the booth, man. Congratulations on a great season. I think everybody in Las Vegas went busted with the 82 car coming up a little short. You're definitely one of the favorites coming in with 5 wins this season. Tell us a little bit about your night, Chad.
Yeah, got off to a little bit of a rocky start. Had a not so great qualifying effort. I knew that going into the night that was going to be really important because it's pretty difficult to pass out there, especially going up against these guys. As even as we are, you need as much track position as you can get. But overall, I think pretty happy with second. Of course, would like to win, but all things considered, Mitch had us covered tonight, and he definitely earned it.
Yeah, it had a lot to look like Sunday in the real show, the way you guys fanned out, and to have one caution tonight, it kind of fell into you guys' hands, I felt like, more, Chad, because, you know, getting on and off pit road. But again, any second guesses on that or second thoughts on that last pit stop you made? I know you ran it out a little bit longer, but we saw earlier, and it's easier for us in the booth, you know, somebody like Nick Thames would stop 10, 15 laps sooner, come out with lead. Granted, he was falling back, but just beating Rolo on the pit road could have been the difference.
Yeah, I was thinking back to the Texas race, similar mile-and-a-half track, how Trey won that race and pitted a couple laps after he broke the run in half. So I kind of wanted to do what he did. He won that race. I was closing on Mitch, but our tires kind of fell off and evened out with, I think it must have been about 10 to go before the caution. So well, even before then. But that was kind of the strategy, is going for it to pit after halfway to get that break, halfway break. I don't know. I really don't think anyone had anything for Mitch tonight, no matter what pit strategy was, to tell you the truth. He was a rock star tonight. And of course, Joe at OSRN to make these great broadcasts. Thank you guys for all you do. And also, I had Guy Brooks up on the pit box calling some shots and giving me some feedback on things I could do right and try to track down Mitch. But it was all for naught. Wish him the best too. That was a really fantastic season he put together.
Congratulations, Chad, and we look forward to seeing you back on track in 2019.
Thank you.
And the man come up in second place there, Chad Cole, did an outstanding job tonight. I mean, just one position away, and he, like you said, he did everything he needed to do. Well, before we bring this guy up here, he has had one wild season and one wild chase. I mean, he had a duel out there, and he had a duel here tonight. Mitch Rolo, he had him covered here in the 96 machine here tonight. Mitch Rolo, the 2018 champion here for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series, presented by Transervice. I bring this guy up here, Joey, so you can get a talk with him, because I know he's going to be ecstatic here at this one.
Mitch Rolo, Joey Jatina up here in the booth. I just want to take a quick minute to congratulate you before I turn you over to Joe White. But great job this year. You know, it was a very interesting race, to say the least, but through it all, you guys came out on top, and we are very proud to call you our champion here at Sim500 in the Transervice Logistics Cup Series.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Joey. Appreciate it, man.
Mitch, I'm gonna tell you, you're a rocket ship, and I know when you go back and watch, you're gonna hear us up here talking, because it was exciting to watch you out there battle with the 5, because I know the love lost between y'all two are very slim to none. Y'all two just don't like each other, and that is awesome, and you made it known on the track. But man, you had a bad, fast hot rod out there. The last pit strategy, I told Joey, I said that's probably the best thing that can go. Was that going through your mind, or did you have a different pitch strategy you needed to get out there on that last one?
Yeah, we're not focused on the 5. But definitely, yeah, I can't even talk right now. But the pit strategy, we knew we were gonna have to come down a lap or two before Cole to get out in front of him a little bit, but definitely we just wanted to stay in front of him, and I mean that's what we did all night, and it worked out for us, man. We're the 2018 champion. I can't believe it.
Absolutely, you are. You are the champ. They can't take it away from you. You had an up and down season, and a man coming here, I mean, you dominated the race. You blew the doors off of him in that 96 machine. You put it in victory lane here at Homestead for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice, and you are the 2018 Transervice Cup champion here. I'll tell you, that's got to be bittersweet to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in disbelief hearing that I'm the champion, man. It's unbelievable. And like you said, definitely been an up and down season. We had great stretches and terrible stretches and just mediocre stretches. But ultimately, when it came chase time, I was gonna have to hunker down to beat Cole and Gonzalez and all them guys. And man, we just busted our butts for the last however many weeks, 10 weeks I guess, and man, we're victorious, and I can't believe it. I'm in disbelief.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man, a few words there, and it's awesome to see the emotions, man, run high, to be able to see you come in here and put it in victory lane, cap off this season with an awesome finish. And like I said, we watched you through the chase, and throughout the chase here, it wasn't easy, because I got to take it back to Martinsville. That was a wild one there between y'all two, and then you took it, and last week you knew what you had to do. You came in, made it to the Final Four tonight. It wasn't easy either tonight. Now, just to clear up something, and you know me, I love, man, excitement. Was you going to sit out there and keep rubbing fenders with the 5 machine earlier in the race?
Well, I mean, listen, when it came down to it, I knew he was going to run me hard. I didn't know he was going to door me, 4 times throughout the way, so that was kind of well, you know what, but I mean, at the end of the day, I was trying to pass him as clean as possible, and he just kept doing DeBarro things. So, I mean, that's what the 5 does, and I mean, he proved tonight that I mean, he ain't gonna play fair, but I mean, we came out on top anyway, regardless of the amount of try that he had to try and ruin this for us, and we just showed him that it really didn't matter. He didn't phase us. So definitely unbelievable race, unbelievable night, and I'm not gonna ever forget this, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Now, the one word to describe it, because we've heard it in the real NASCAR. You won the war. You won it all here. You are the champ, my friend, here at Homestead tonight, folks. Mitch Rollo, well, he rolled all of them over here tonight at Homestead. Again, congratulations to the 96 champion here tonight.
And I just gotta thank, first of all, my team. Well, first of all, I gotta mention Boomtown Sim. People probably realize that I'm racing for a different team now. We had a bit of a falling out over there, but I gotta give a huge shout out to the team owner over at Boomtown Sim, Corbin Himstreet. Corbin picked me up about 6 months off after I got on the sim. I was just a nobody back then, and man, he helped me so much over the years, and I attribute a lot of this to him. And I gotta thank my new team, Crossover Incorporated Motorsports. Ben Kilcrease and I started this thing up, and he's been a huge help up on the spotter stand this last 10 weeks or so. And Transervice Logistics for coming on board and sponsoring this thing. Definitely very thankful for that. And Fast Track Sims, RacingBids.com, and Sim Racing Network. I mean, the amount of people that had a hand in this thing was unbelievable, and I couldn't have done it without any of them. And I gotta thank you, Joy, for doing a good job on the admin staff this year, and all the other admins for putting time in on this thing. I'm gonna be forever grateful for everything, and man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm gonna be in disbelief for a long time.
Well, not only did you win the championship tonight, but you also won the extra $25 bonus, the Transervice Dash for Cash. So you walk away with $325 tonight for your season. Congratulations, Mitch.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All lunch, man. All going to Mitch right there. There you have it. The champion tonight, Mitch Rollo, putting it in victory lane and walking away with the title here as we get the final unofficial results here at this one. Mitch Rollo putting it in victory lane. You've got Chad Cole coming up in second, Scott Simley third, Nelson Rivera there in fourth, Scott Stencil fifth, Chad Coleman sixth, Nick Timms the seventh, Tommy Ryan's up in eighth, and Jonathan Goodell ninth, and round to the top 10, Jose Gonzalez. Wow, as we look through the rest of this field, what a exciting race this was to cap off the 2018 season here for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. And that man right there for winning the race, Mitch Rollo. Joe, you got any final thoughts?
Joe, just to echo some of the other guys, thank you. OSRN, you guys have covered our league for quite some time, and we can't wait till the next time we get back together and put on some great racing. You guys, you personally have made a huge impact on Sim500. We've got a lot of great history together, and we get to go back and watch. And like I said, man, it's all you. We thank you, everybody at Sim500, for all that you have done with OSRN and Sim500.
Well, Ben, I appreciate it. And these drivers out here have put on one heck of a show for all long season here of the 2018, and I do appreciate it. And all the viewers out there for tuning in week in and week out to support these guys here, and for Transervice, like you said, coming on board. Well, folks, we're leaving the sunny state here of Florida and Homestead, but that man right there is going to burn them down in a 96 machine of Mitch Rollo, because he's a champion and a winner here. For myself, Joe White, Joey Cantina, the Sim500, and everybody out there, everyone, have a good night.